Hey, this is Sean here with GhostStop. I just want to do a demonstration of the Onvoy. This is something that we developed specifically for paranormal investigations that presents entities with a much more simple and flexible way to communicate with us. It offers the ability to deliver words, phrases, numbers, even emotions, and a yes or no through a uniquely simple yet transparent and documentable method. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a little bit. So let's real quick go through the turning it on. It says Onvoy, and we can flip through some of the modes here. Just wanted to show you the mode. There's 5 different modes here. First of which being the alphabet. So what this will do is it essentially scan through letters. And it gives the entities the ability through theories that we already theorize that they may have the ability to understand and use, such as EMF, temperature, and motion, tapping, touch, that kind of thing. In this case, it's a tap. So it's just the easiest for demonstration purposes. But if a EMF change were to occur, it would select with the proper timing. They'd be able to go through and essentially select the letters to make up a word. You can also adjust the speed at which they're selected. So let's say, in order to give them an easier time to select the right word, a slower speed might be more fitting. Or, you can kind of half that or go really, really fast. And so this determines the speed at which it scans and the speed at which the sensor is detecting spikes. So let's move on to the next mode here. The next mode is a yes or no. So again, same thing. Multiple sensors are looking to pick up a spike. So if let's see, if I tap it on a yes, I'm going to get the yes answer down at the bottom. And through that idea of transparency at the bottom, it lets us know that that was selected because of a tap. The next mode here is a set of numbers. So, again, same kind of concept. It scans through a set of numbers. And as you select one, it shows it over on the right and indicates that it happened because of tap. If that selection was made because of the magnetic change, it would say mag. If it were because of a temperature change, it would say temp plus or minus. A change in temperature above or below. Now, here's one of my favorites here. Icons or emojis, so to speak. So this gives entities the ability to express an emotion without sitting there and actually having to type it out. Spell the word, angry or scared. So as I tap it, I can select the icon for sad, which again shows it over on the right and with an indicator that might be hard to see on the camera, but it lets you know that it happened because of a tap. And then this last mode here is pretty much just your checks and balances. This is showing you a live readout of what's happening on the magnetometer or EMF. The temperature gauge is 71 degrees in here, and the tap or touch sensor. This is, again, just your checks and balances to make sure, if you have a magnet, I don't actually have one right next to me, but this is magnetic energy. Like a lot of what we do here at GhostStop, we try to develop things that are not so susceptible to interference, trying to clean up what we're getting through our devices. So this is not picking up cell phones, walkie-talkies, that kind of thing. This is pure natural magnetic energy. Again, if I had a magnet, the sensor is actually up at the top here. If I were to put a magnet right here, it would trigger it. If I were to, I don't have a refrigerator here in the conference room, but if I were to set this in the fridge, and lower that temperature, then it would show that as well. And again, these are what's used on all the other modes in order to make the selections. Now, you're going, hey, what's this 5 over on the right? These are an indicator of how sensitive each sensor is. So you can control each sensor sensitivity independently. And that's these knobs down at the bottom. So if I wanted to turn, let's say let's turn EMF completely off. So now we're not even having checking for magnetic changes. As you may see down here at the bottom, I'm not sure what is picked up by the camera here, but that light is now off. As I turn it up, that red light, so even if you're not on this screen, you can still get a visual indicator of how sensitive the EMF is, or temperature or touch, based off of how bright this red LED is. So as I turn that all the way up, it shows up here, it'll be a scale from 0 to 9, 0 being off, and then 1 to 9 in sensitivity. So now it's picking up, a lot of changes in magnetic here in the conference room. And I can turn that back down if I want, or completely off if I wish. And again, you see that LED goes off. So you can adjust these independently. That's magnetic. This one, the middle one here, is temperature, and the last one here is touch, and I can adjust those how I wish, even if I'm not on this specific screen, again, using those LEDs as an indicator. Now, talking about LEDs, this LED up here actually helps us indicate not only how fast it's scanning, but also whenever something happens, as you might have seen before, this lights up bright white when a choice is made. And the red little blinking LED indicates how fast it is scanning, or how fast that cursor is looping. So as it goes really slow, you see that red indicator lets you know that it's looping relatively slowly. And if I crank it all the way up, it goes nice and fast there. So again, just to explain this screen a little bit more too. The whole purpose of this screen is to allow entities the ability to spell something out over time. Now, going back to when I said transparency before, there are, phone apps and other devices that as a lot of us know, produce words. And although this might not be as instantly gratifying as those are, I've always been under the understanding, that's in the opinion, that I feel very weird going on an investigation and trying to tell an entity, make this device say the word, unicorn. If I can't, as a human with fingers and opposable thumbs, make that device say unicorn, how am I supposed to explain to an entity how to go into a complex word data bank, find the word through this, formula encoding, to an entity who may be a couple hundred years old and not understand all of that complexity? This is just very simple, just a tap allows you to spell a word. And with the appropriate timing, I can actually spell out something here. Let's say I can spell out red. Of course, now I have to wait for the cursor to come back to D, but you get the idea here. It's a very simple way for an entity to communicate with us, develop words and phrases. So as you work more with this, and as we show entities more about how to use this, I'm hoping that we might learn a little bit more about what they prefer, what methodologies they may prefer, and whether that actually is as a whole, or does that vary by location? That very well could be. Let's see, that's pretty much it about this. Again, you've got the ability to change modes to whatever you want. You watch the cursor as it scans. You see the letters as they're chosen over on the right. with an indicator of why it was chosen. And this is your word data bank. Now, once there's 11 slots here for letters, as that reaches the end, it's going to start at the beginning and start overwriting. So what you have to do as investigators is if you see anything, like I see the word red came up here, that'd be something to note down. You go, red, I wonder if that is in context to our investigation. So because this only holds 11 slots, it's going to start overwriting from the beginning. You got to jot those down. The Onvoy doesn't have the ability to hold all those letters. It's just 11. That's it. I think that's about it. This is rechargeable. So it's USB rechargeable down at the bottom. Now, I just wanted to go back and illustrate one of the key factors, or two of the key factors that we used in developing the Onvoy. First of those being ease, and the other one being flexibility. Now, because the Onvoy is not bound by a dictionary or a set of words, you can get all kinds of stuff. You can get any word, phrases, misspellings of words, names, slang, and even other languages. Any other language that also uses the American alphabet or Latin alphabet can come through here as well. Now, one of the things, of course, we, as investigators, we use our own equipment on investigations, and one of the test investigations recently that really, to me, really kind of was an aha moment for me when I realized, man, I think we really have something here. Throughout the course of the investigation, over a couple of hours, it was attempting to spell the name of the entity that people claim might be on this specific location. It was at least 8 different iterations or misspellings of that name that were very, very close, like just missing a letter. And it was actually trying to say my name. I just went ahead and spelled out right here so that you could see what I'm talking about. My name is Sean Porter. This came up on the screen during that investigation twice, just like this, and a couple other iterations of Sean, but also with my last initial as well. It was very, very interesting to see it attempt. It could have just been a matter of timing as well. But it was attempting to spell out not only my name, but the name of the entity that is claimed to be on that specific investigation. And that was really, really cool for me to see as a use case for this particular device. And it really, gave me hope to kind of see what this device can provide us in the future in knowledge and evolving what we know about this field. So for more information about the Onvoy, head on over to ghoststop.com/Onvoy. That's ONVOY. And for more information about any other ghost hunting equipment, as always, head over to www.ghoststop.com.